Hey Libra, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I am doing a reading for October of 2020. So we got a lot going on, it seems like, in the cosmos. We have a full moon on October 1st, or maybe it's right on the edge, so October 2nd, possibly where you live, in Aries, full moon in Aries, which is a harvest moon, although that must be a northern hemisphere thing, right? Then we have a new moon on October 16th in Libra, because we're in Libra for most of October. And then we have another full moon, so a blue moon on the 31st on Halloween. How fun is that? In Taurus. And then we also have Mercury retrograde on the 14th, so we'll be in shadow at the beginning of October and then in a full-blown retrograde from the 14th on. And then, but something I think is really nice is on October 28th, Venus moves into Libra. So Venus is very comfortable in Libra, and it just seems to me that then we have that full moon in Taurus on the 31st. So if you meet someone, I could see it sticking, I guess, is just how I read that as a non-astrologer. So, all right, I'm going to do a modified Celtic cross, see what's going on. 5 of Stones, material difficulty. Why do I feel like this is really... Okay, there we go. So the 5 of Pentacles, it's really more of an internal thing. I mean, it can mean you're a little tight on money, absolutely. But it's our relationship with money and the way we think about money that needs to be examined when this card comes up. Are you navigating and conducting yourself from a lack mentality? And what kind of vibe is that putting into the universe? And I'm not saying don't stress about money, because it's very stressful, but just to think about your relationship with money. What was the financial situation like growing up? Were there fears about financial stability growing up, and or not? And how has that been for you through your life? And just sort of looking at some of those things. It could be, though, that you need to learn about maybe credit scores and look into, you can repair your credit score. Look into just some basic finances 101, how to make a budget, how to reduce, if you have a lot of credit card debt and you're paying a lot of interest, maybe trying to juggle those around, and just deal with it, examine it, look at it so you can feel better about it instead of it just taking on a life of its own. It also could be that you've done this for a while and it's starting to really pay off. But don't stop now. What's this? 10. Temperance. Alchemy. Oh, that makes sense. You have a Sagittarius card on the back here. The Temperance card. So balance. Yeah, balance, moderation. Figuring out when to splurge and when you need to reel it in. I know I do that with a lot of things. All of a sudden I'll get this urge, I'm going to go get a crystal. And then I'm like, what? This buying one crystal, I'll get that hit of excitement, but I just saw 420. I think that's funny. And then I'm like, no, it's going to be short-lived. So are you in a pattern of maybe buying things you don't need because you get that hit, that exciting hit for that's temporary? Temporary discomfort for long-term gain is what I'm hearing. So what was in focus in the recent past? Sagittarius had this, the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, exactly. So maybe you've already started this process. So this page starts to understand with some patience and deferring instant gratification, saving that $5 a week, getting up and putting one foot in front of the other and just starting to move, making a commitment, a plan to whatever, save for college, buy a house, pay off your debt, get in shape, incorporate better eating habits, declutter, and I'm sitting here looking at my dirty kitchen, declutter, and organize, simplify. I feel like there's a lot of clutter that's bugging you. But it's almost like it could be physical clutter, but I almost feel like it's mental clutter as well. It's like you need to spring clean or simplify. Look at your credit card statements, your bank statements, and see all the different debits that are coming out. See if you can stop some of those, and then take that money and maybe save it so you don't really miss it. You can do all sorts of automatic things with your bank account. So you could have an auto transfer into an account that isn't available on your phone. You know what I mean? Or something. Possibilities. Material difficulties. Some of you could be weighing the possibilities of some sort of change, but financially you're kind of holding back because maybe if you live with someone and you want to make a change in that situation, whether it's a roommate or a romantic partner, then you're like, okay, that's going to make it much harder financially. What do you want most? Five of Cups. You want to end a disappointing relationship. You want to end a situation that is emotionally not satisfactory and potentially emotionally exhausting at best and abusive at worst. At worst. Yeah, someone's just been a disappointment. Some situation was a huge letdown. It did not live up to your expectations. But even when looking at it from a realistic point of view, yeah, there's something not working, and you're taking baby steps. Maybe things people that couldn't even see, but somehow you're taking baby steps to rectify the situation. So the World card, yeah, this is wrapping up one phase of your life and starting another. Something coming to an end, so a new phase can start. This isn't really necessarily a good or a bad card. I mean, it's good if you look at it from the perspective of the hero's journey, the fool's journey, and they've reached, in some area of your life, reached a real high level of understanding. On a mundane level, though, it can just be something like you graduate from school. Okay, school's done, something else starts. It just kind of is. But I feel that you do really seriously want to wrap up one part of your life, whether it was where you lived, a relationship, a career, and move on to something new. What else is going on now? Page of Swords. Fairness. This is a very Libra card, right? You're battling with your codependent nature. How can I do this so everyone feels okay about it? So everyone, it seems fair to everyone. And there even is money. Look at that. Isn't he holding money? It's like the division of assets. Definitely some of you may be seeing a lawyer or starting legal action. Could be a contract. I mean, this could be anything. Selling a house. Think of all the things you might need a lawyer for. It's interesting too that this page is in the water, but up above the water. So there's some emotional aspect of this. I see a diamond ring. But the whip is interesting because it's almost like the whip and then the skull, almost like a domineering, controlling. Someone's controlling and domineering over someone. Another page, more communication, more new beginnings, more new things. What will be coming up potentially in the near future? The Hierophant, you're struggling with some social construct, with some truth that you're clinging on to. Or for some of you, spiritually, you're going to come to terms with it and be able to look at it from a much more philosophical and less guilt, less emotional involvement. And it's like you'll be able to remove yourself, have a boundary, have a distance. Yeah. I'm getting a separation. These rings are interesting. It's almost like cord cutting, but it almost looks like I don't know, like a protective shield coming down. Tradition. Definitely could be the end of a marriage. It could also be the beginning of a relationship. The end of the relationship could have already come. We have these two fives here. So the fives are discomfort, and it's just enough. It's enough. It's not necessarily anything huge, but it's enough discomfort that it forces you to maybe make a change. And I like to say it's like a pebble in your shoe. If you have a pebble in your shoe and you're just walking to the end of your driveway to get your mail, whatever, it's fine. You can just ignore it. But if you're going out for a 5-mile walk, that pebble, over the long run, it's going to have to be dealt with, or it's going to create all sorts of problems and discomfort, like more on a more serious level. So something you've been sweeping under the rug, downplaying, or thought you had resigned yourself to, to deal with it, is going to come up, and it needs to be dealt with in potentially a legal manner through, the Hierophant can be the judicial system, government, big institutions. Like, it's going to have to be official. This is Taurus. Is that right? I don't know my glyphs. Let me look and see what I have my birth chart here. What symbol is that? Why can't I find it? I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's Taurus. Okay, sorry. I should trust myself. So that Taurus full moon, what do you need to let go of? I feel like you need to let go of, like, I will never get divorced. I will never have a Facebook page. I don't think it's that. I'll never online date. I'll never, I don't know, fill in the blank, whatever came. It's going to be time to let go of that and start a new phase of acceptance. And it's okay if it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. But with this 5 of stones and 5 of cups, like, you start racking up fives, it's harder to ignore. And yeah, the 6 of swords. So this is journeying from rough waters to smooth waters. Could be a water sign. But anything that's emotionally, right? This 5 of cups, that was disappointing, but emotionally you felt it and it was wearing on you. Science. So this is kind of the Thoth deck influence. I think science is a 6 of swords in that. But yeah, looking at things more data driven versus emotional attachment. It's a very positive card. There's Aquarius is here. But moving, and you think Aquarius, the water bearer, right? It sounds like a water sign, but it's an air sign. So there's a little bit of a contradiction in this built into this card, because it's often read, because the traditional card has the rough water and the boat on the water going to smoother water. So there's an inherent emotional component to this card, even though it's an air card, a Libra card, a thought card, right? I mean, it's Aquarius, but you're all air signs, swords. Cord cutting, detaching. So Queen of Wands. When the Queen of Wands sets her mind to something, when she's inspired or passionate or has a goal, she can't be, she's going to see it through to the end. So she's a mature fire energy. Immature fire energy, they'll get all excited about something, and then, it very quickly dissipates and it just doesn't stick. It's going to stick. If she's really determined to do something and to move in a certain direction or have something a certain way or make something happen, she sees it through to the end. So you're determined to move to calmer waters. And it will happen. I don't know when it will happen. It's going to have to do with you reconciling within yourself something that maybe that Taurus blue moon, that full moon on the 31st, will be a breaking point, to break through that fixed idea you have that's keeping you in this 5 situation for too long. But you are ready for a new phase of life, and you're planting the seeds. And once you break through that one restraint, because we have alchemy back here that's titled restraint, you have to break through something that's keeping you off balance. I know that seems maybe counterintuitive, but you are determined to move on, and you have a goal and an idea in your head, and you will get there. You're still in the princess, the daughter the page. Oh, you know what? Shit, this is the Knight of Swords. So a change in thinking can also be, it's change, so it can be new beginnings. You need, okay, that makes so much more sense. You need a change in thinking about something you've been holding on to. All right, I'm going to pull a few cards for romance specifically. Come on, I'm having trouble shuffling these cards today for some reason. It's weird. It was 37 degrees when I woke up. It's awesome. Fahrenheit. All right, come on, cards. Let's do this one. Let's do these two. King of Pentacles, the bottom. So a Taurus, an earth sign energy. Someone you met in Virgo time. King of Swords, a mature air sign. So that could be you. That could be meeting a mature air sign. Any relationship moving forward, I see you handling it differently, and it's in a very air sign manner, which I think is great. So you could be with another air sign, which I think would be a great match. Could be a fire sign, but both the masculine energies in the of the tarot, Pentacles and Water, are more feminine energies, so more receptive, and air, fire, more action oriented. So you may be with a more similar sign energy, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of honesty, and no game playing, no expectations in your head that haven't been discussed, so you know if you're really on the same page of how things are going to go. Doesn't mean it's not going to be passionate. It can still be passionate, but I think it's going to be passionate because it's so much more intimate, because you're so much more honest and upfront with everyone, being on the same page. Being on the same page. There's something about writing here. Queen of Swords. Yeah, here's a couple. Definitely. You have the King and Queen of Swords. So two air signs coming together. Don't get hung up on gender. You've both probably had past relationships, probably been divorced or had a nasty breakup, or thought you were at least headed that way. You've had experience, you've lived, you've learned, and that's why coming together for this new relationship, it's really going to be different, but I think it's really going to work because your energies are similar. Holy crap. And then here's the Hierophant. So you may very likely get married, remarried. So if you're leaving someone or left someone and you were like, I am never getting married again, you're going to meet your match, and you will get married again. Never say never. But so let that go. I mean, I don't know. Now, because you're not going to be, maybe you rushed into a previous relationship or relationships, or had been one of those people that have gone from relationship to relationship, which makes sense for Libra because that's part of Libra, wanting to be coupled. So it is what it is. But so even if it happens kind of much faster, you will take it on a more mature, slower. You're not going to be love bombed or fall into it so fast. There's going to be really good communication. That communication that could actually end a relationship, but you have that experience to know the difference. If we don't talk about this stuff now and figure out where we are now, why would we get into a marriage or a relationship? You would just have the perspective to see how that doesn't make sense. And so it won't be that way. But If any of you have recently said, I'm never getting married again, but I'm never doing whatever, anything you say, I'm never doing that again. Well, yeah, you will most likely, and it'll be okay, and you'll be glad that you did, is what I'm seeing. So thank you, Libra. I hope you have a great October.